Right, chef. So, I've just found one of my favourite cuts of meat in my freezer. And I'm going to do a real nice, slow, long and slow cooked beef skirt pasta. Now, yeah, it's nothing exciting, but trust me, this is absolutely beautiful. So in here, I've just got some onions and some garlic with a pinch of salt, just sauteing away. And this is my beef skirt. Just get it out of the freezer. All I'm going to do is get a bit of colour on it. I'm not too bothered about defrosting it. You can defrost it, get a bit more colour on, but you can cook things like this from frozen, so it's important to know you haven't just got to wait till tomorrow for it to defrost, because obviously it's going to be cooked for about 4 hours this, so that's going to cook from frozen in the sauce. So I'm just going to try and get a bit of colour on the outside of it, both sides, and it's going to go into my pan. Right then, so what I've got here is just a tiny bit of muslin cloth. I think it's muslin cloth, I don't know, I just found it in my cupboard. It's muslin cloth now if it's not. And I've just got some fresh rosemary and fresh thyme. I grow this in garden, so obviously I've got it to hand. If you don't grow it, don't use it. It's that simple. And all I'm going to do with that is just make like a little tea bag. And that's ready to go in when I make the sauce part of this. So, if we just take a quick look, I'm getting some nice colour on this now. Oh, look at that view. So happy one, and we'll get some tongs. I've splattered fat all on the cooker already. Yeah, so just getting some nice colour on that. So, what I'm going to do next is check the onions. They're nearly done. So 2 secs. Right, so what I've done is I've added a tablespoon tomato puree, and the important thing with this is to cook it off. It can be quite bitter. Obviously you want to try and develop the natural sweetness that is in the tomato. By just putting this on a medium heat, just keep stirring this and cooking it through. Look at that beautiful colour on that. Yeah, so like I said, I know it's frozen, but the nature of the dish is going to take 4 or 5 hours to cook, especially such a tough cut of meat anyway. So I wouldn't worry about whether it's frozen or not. Obviously, it's going to be cooked through. It's not like you're doing a steak that you're going to be eating and expect the middle to be cooked when it will still be frozen. But yeah. So cut that puree out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the beef. I'm just going to add that beef into the pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a box of passata. Just a 500ml on this. If you haven't got passata, use tin tomatoes. Anything. I'm using passata because I've got no tin tomatoes. So I put 500ml of passata in. And then I've half filled the box up with water, and I'm adding that as well. Now, because it's got a long process of cooking this, that's why I'm adding the water as well. Obviously, it's going to evaporate, all the flavours are going to come together real nice. Yeah, and it'll be beautiful. So that is pretty much it until it is ready later. Keep that like that. What I like to do is I like to half cover it with a lid. Oh, tinfoil, because you can never find the lid. Hang on. Yeah, so as I said, just like to half cover it like that. And then I'll be back in 4 or 5 hours. I'll keep showing it you out throughout the cooking process and how it goes. Oh yeah, don't forget your tea bag, if you've got one. If not, don't worry. Right guys, so I'm going to show you how to make fresh pasta. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a pappardelle. So some nice big thick white sheets, which obviously I'll show you that later on. But I'm just going to show you the general gist of making a fresh pasta. So I don't do this all the time at home. I don't think many people do really, but in these times it's nice to keep yourself occupied. Cooking's a great way to do it. So in my bowl I've got 110 grams of 00 flour, which is pasta flour. In here I've got 8 mils of olive oil, 2 egg yolks and a whole egg. Now what I'm going to do is place it in the middle. Now you can do this on your workbench. I just think you're messing up your workbench. So break your yolks, and what you're going to do is you're going to whisk these in the middle, right, and you're going to keep incorporating a little bit of that flour into it from the walls. You can do this in a mixer by all means. I just thought I'd show you this way. So I just keep bringing it in and just keep mixing it, and what you'll find, it starts to come together and it starts to dry up a bit. What we need to do at this point is get his hands in. So you can start trying to bring this together. Wants to feel a little tacky, not too wet. Basically, you just want to make sure you get all that into your pasta. Once you get to this stage, it's time to knead it. So what we need to do is get this nice, elastic and shiny. So I'm just going to keep kneading it like this, about 4 to 5 minutes. Activate the gluten, get it nice and elastic and get it nice and stretchy. I'll show you when I finish, because I ain't going to record this for 5 minutes and let you watch me knead. Right, so I've got my dough here, it's nice and kneaded. If you look, it's almost got like a matty, yeah, like a matte paint sort of texture to it. But it's also got like a little shine when you hold it in the light. So once that's done, cling film, and we're going to rest this in the fridge until we need it. Once at least an hour, longer the better really with fresh pasta. Overnight is probably best. So that's going to go in the fridge so I need it. Right, so that has had about an hour, and if you look, you can just see all meat fibres just starting to open up. Obviously when you've got tough cuts of meat like this, all the collagen, connective tissues in between the fibres will obviously start melting. It's good, so it'll thicken your sauce as well. If you notice that your sauce looks like it's reducing a bit much, you can also add a little bit more water. Remember, at this point, all we're doing is we're cooking that beef and we're developing the flavour, so the water's going to keep reducing down every time you add some. So don't worry about it being wishy-washy at this point. So that's had about an hour, so 4 to go. Right then chefs, this is at about 2 hours, and if you look, you can see that it's proper starting to like go very tender, nice and soft. Just get some of that sauce off for you. If you look, you can see all that fat and collagen in it is breaking down. It's going real nice and tender. So it's a little bit thick with sauce at the minute, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water to it. Again, as I said, the idea is the water's there so that you've got plenty of liquid around your meat. And as I said, if the sauce is too thin at the end, you can just reduce it down again on a rolling boil. You see that little sheen on it? That's all that beef fat and olive oil in the sauce. So you're going to get some awesome flavour from this when it's finished cooking. If you look now, and take my spoon, I'm going to stick my spoon through it, so it is nearly there. Might only need another hour, so we'll check it again then. Right then guys, so took my pasta out at the fridge, nice and soft like this. Yeah, if you have a look, it's quite nice. So I've got one of these KitchenAid attachments. You can do this with a rolling pin if you can. Just take quite a while to get it nice and thin. But what we're going to do is just going to start tiny bit of flour on your roller, and then we're just going to start putting this through. And what I do for the first few rolls is I just keep putting it, folding it and putting it back through. Just helps to develop the gluten a little bit. And then slowly I start to knock it down and go through each different setting. So it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. The first 2 or 3, again, like I say, I do keep folding this. Again, it's just stretching that gluten out. And when it starts to get that feel like leather, that's when you've probably got the texture that you need, so that you can stop folding it and just keep going through different thicknesses. So I'm just gradually dropping this down. Again, keep flouring your pasta. If you're not flouring enough, you'll find it sticks. So last one. So I always take this down to like second to last. And we get a nice thin strip like this. So what we do then is quite a long strip this, so I'm just going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to lay it on my side, like so. Now, touch of flour. This is basically needed to help roll it up to cook your pappardelle, but it's also needed to help dry it. So, like I said, we're going to start drying this. You get that al dente texture if you dry it. If you don't, it's fine. I just find it's a little bit softer. I'm not really a fan of it when it's just like made fresh and then cooked. I do prefer to dry it a little. So roll it up like so, and then we're just going to cut this into nice big pappardelle. We're doing this at home. Watch Mum and Dad's kitchen side or your kitchen side, and then basically once you've done it and cut them, open them back out like so, and you've got nice pappardelle, nice big thick pasta, a little dusting flour, and then we're going to dry these. So I've done a couple already to make sure that each one gets dusted, stop it sticking, stop it so that it dries nice and even. If you look what I've got here now, I've got like a few little strips all coated nice and even. So I'm just going to basically coat them, and that's a little nest. I'll just carry on with the rest of them. This is the only downside to it. So this is after 3 hours. I've just had a little bit more water because it was getting a bit thick. But if you look how nice that meat is now. I mean, it's starting to break up, which is obviously what we're after. So I'm gonna give it another half an hour, 45 minutes to see what it's like then. Still a bit tough on some connective tissue. Obviously we still need to break that down, but we'll see how it goes from there. I've just got my pasta here drying out on my 2 wire racks. So obviously 1 rack bottom, 1 on top. Do it so that obviously air can get through. I've got my back door open. Right guys, so if I look at consistency of that sauce now, it's absolutely beautiful. If you look at that meat, it's just falling to bits when you touch it. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Right, so this pasta's nice and dry now. If you look, pick it up, it's all dried out. It's not like dry like you get from the supermarket, but obviously it is dry. So in here I've got my water and I'm going to add some salt. Seems like a lot of salt. It should be very salty. That's the idea of pasta. Your water should be very heavily seasoned. Obviously you don't add any salt to it when you're making it, so this is the only way that you're going to season it. Right, I just want to show you these that I've been doing. So I've just done some really slow roasted onions. The sweetness in them is going to really come out. I've just put a few cherry tomatoes in just to roast those off as well. But all the natural sugars in those allow a nice sweetness, so it'll go with that real savouriness of that sauce. Right chefs, the water's boiling. We'll take the pasta, and this is going to cook very quickly. You're talking about 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's fresh pasta. Right, so that's literally been in 1 minute. If we have a look at it, start to cook nice. What we're going to do is, I've put my beef sauce into another pan. The idea is, it gets nice and hot. Then we take this pasta and we put it in to that beef. The idea is, once the pasta's cooked, we want to try and finish it off in the sauce. So finish cooking in that sauce and develop further flavour. Right guys, so I've just put my pasta in. Got it on the stove, nice and hot. Sometimes it might be a little bit thick. You can always take a little bit of the pasta water just to loosen it down. Right then, so to plate, I'll take a nice little bit of my pasta. Again, I'm at home, I'm not doing chefy restauranty stuff. I'm basically just doing this as I'm going to have it for my tea. Well, nice little bit of pasta. Take a few bits of that meat. Dogs are off again. A little bit of fresh basil. If you ain't got any basil, it don't matter. It's just a little bit of garnish, really. And then in here, I've got these nice, beautiful slow roasted onions. So I'm just going to take some of these. I'm just going to open up the petals a little bit. So I've just added on my little tomatoes. Then I've got some of these nice little onion petals. Gives like a nice little sweetness to it. Also a bit of that hot doggy onion kind of flavour. Really nice. And then I'm just going to finish a little drizzle of olive oil. I'm out of olive oil. So that is pappardelle using fresh egg pasta with a braised steak sauce.